Welcome everybody to Orcs Must Die here on Additional Pylons Games, where you and I relive digital nostalgia by playing epic, iconic, and memorable video games like Orcs Must Die, very memorable, changing up the tower defense genre, as if you will. Anyways, so this is Double Trouble, and this is my nightmare. This video has been an absolute just pain in the neck to develop, to produce. So, this is actually a compilation of my 5 attempts at doing Double Trouble. So we're going to go ahead and I've sped up the footage for each of the attempts because otherwise this video would be something like, it'd probably be like 45 minutes long. This, for whatever reason, this level is just a nightmare. It took me a while to figure out the strategy that you need to use for this level. And by the time that I had figured it out, I'm just done with this level. It actually got to the point where I barely passed this level, and I just went on and did the other levels, the quote-unquote harder levels, which I actually had a much easier time with. So I went on and did the harder levels, and then came back to do this one again later. Anyways, so you can see, kind of got the setup going. We've got wind belt, flame bracers, tar, and barricades. Of course, we're using coin forges for the first time. We've also got our swinging maces, arrow walls, grinders, and archers for this first try. And you can see immediately we've got problems. So first try round, one thing that I try to do is I mistakenly believe that the solution was to have 2 equal kill boxes, which is not at all the right solution. So changed up things a little bit here. I replaced the grinder for the decoy. You can see that in the number 4 slot. And trying the decoy out for the first time. I actually don't use the decoy much for Orcs Must Die 1. I used a fair amount in Orcs Must Die 2, though. Orcs Must Die 2, there's a mod that you can get for it, which allows you to, basically, the decoy never dies. It reanimates after a certain amount of time, but it never explodes. And I like that. I don't like one-time use kind of things like boom barrels and the decoy here in the first Orcs Must Die. So anyways, first round, first try, learned that basically 2 equal kill boxes is not, I kind of learned, 2 equal kill boxes is not going to work. I'm still kind of trying it here, still like the coin forge idea, and we're sticking with that. So, place down the decoys to try and stop orcs from coming in, but you can see my issue is that I'm trying to automate both sides, which early on is just not possible. Barely saved myself there with kobolds, but you can see here, basically, I sort of start to learn that I need to actually be taking out one side and then coming back and focusing on the other. So some orcs have already gotten through. I decide, you know what, I'm gonna power through it and just kind of learn, try and see if I can learn from my mistakes. So I don't really use the wind belt much, and in later attempts I will get rid of the wind belt. Little Null Hunter goes flying there, but you can see the decoy exploded and there were orcs left over, and so more orcs got through to the rift, which is an issue. So again, this level definitely has been a learning process. This whole recording thing has been a learning process. I actually recorded my audio previous to this, and audio just randomly got erased somehow. So you can see going through, you can see also the barricade got taken down, and that's an issue. So the thing that I realized later on, actually I didn't really realize this until like my 4th or 5th attempt at this level, that the issue with the barricades is that you've got orcs who are swinging their axes at the decoys, and later on paladins. Later on I used the paladins instead. You've got orcs that are swinging at the barricade, or at the decoy or whatever, and then they end up swinging and hitting the barricades, which is an issue. So you can see I kind of learned here, so I put the decoy out front a little bit more, so that the orcs stay there on the coin forge, allowing my archers to shoot them. But even then, just, you know, this is really not working out too well. So I finally get Death Augmenter, which I probably should have gotten a long time ago. Which again, I learned from my mistakes, but still, this is definitely a level where I was pretty salty playing it. After the first attempt, I knew immediately that I should be recording my audio after I play this, not during it. So you can see, second attempt, we're here on the eighth round. Not doing very hot. 9 rift points left. That means 11 orcs have gotten through. Upgrade my archers so that they do burning arrows. Replacing the barricade, at least one barricade. Unable to replace the second one in time. But you can see here, I'm starting to learn. I need to focus on one side. And there it is. So barricade is down again. The other issue is that crossbow orcs, they're the other issue as well. If crossbow orcs get up and they're not being damaged, they will fire, and they're going to be firing at my archers. However, they're going to hit the barricades, and so that's another issue right there as well. And that's just something that there's really only one solution to that, and that is to put traps along the stairway so that when the crossbow orcs come up, they are being attacked, and if they're being attacked, then they're not able to, or they'll move rather than attacking back. So that's just kind of the way that the crossbow orc AI functions. If they're not being damaged, they'll stop, they'll aim, and they'll fire. But if they are being attacked, they're going to keep moving. Which I guess is smart. Orcs they're not that smart, but smart enough. So replacing the barricades again, moving the decoy up a little bit more, just beefing up my archer corps, and trying to deal with this one side as best as possible. So here we are at round 12. We do have some, yeah, that's an issue. We have, sorry, we have our kobold sappers. They get through, and we end up with only 2 skulls. So I do end up doing an upgrade here. I forget which one. Is it paladins? Yeah. No, decoys. So I upgrade the decoys, and I wasn't happy with that. So I went ahead and did another try. So the change up a little bit here. So again, basically we've got our portals here on the outsides, and I'm going to be making use of those acid traps as much as possible. Backup kill box there, but I've gone for a different setup, and basically the strategy is to have grinders on that left wall, and then to basically send all the orcs through those grinders. Grinders are going to be great for picking up kobolds, and they're good for continuous damage. Since we don't have any ogres or anything like that coming on this level, we're gonna try for that. So you can see there, we've got grinder, and I should have put a barricade instead of buying another archer. But anyway, you can see I'm also starting to learn again that the general strategy really should be to focus down one side, and then focus down one side, and then basically rush over and help the other side. So I spent some money on tar there. Looking back, I should not have done that. I should have spent that money on more traps on the other side, more stuff on the other side, rather than focusing on on this side. So basically, this side is just me kind of doing it myself, and you can see orcs are already getting through. And this is where that money would have come in handy. I should have spent more money here on this side. I should have bought another barricade. I should have basically set myself up a little bit better. 2 orcs got through, so we're down to 20 rift points. We got our gnoll coming through, and this is where we start to have some issues. So, because it takes me so long to kill the gnoll, that means that somehow the orcs get through on this side, and basically we're even worse off than we were last time. So here we are, trying it once again, and again, I'm kind of learning. So we've got everything set up except for a coin forge. So I quickly take out some guys here, set up the coin forge, and then this is where I start to learn. What I need to do is I need to wait for the orcs to get on the coin forge. I bought a coin forge, I should be using it. Again, just kind of common sense. So buy coin forge there, and just kind of thinning the herd a little bit, picking off these early guys so that we don't get a huge mass when it comes down here. The other thing I have to relearn is how to set up the thunderstorm for the lightning ring. And the reason I say that is because I set up the thunderstorm a little bit too quick, a little bit too far on the other side, and some of the orcs were not on the coin forge. But when they got struck by lightning, so there we go. So we got one side semi-automated. Here I am clearing out the other side again, making use of the coin forge on this side, and you can see the orcs pouring through once again. So the major issue there was that I set my paladin up too close to the barricades. So the orcs are swinging wildly. They're trying to hit my paladin, and they end up hitting the barricade as well. So basically go for the same setup here. And learning to just take out the enemies real quick. Getting Death Augmenter, which is something that I have been neglecting to do, and I need to do. I need to get that Death Augmenter so that any trap kills, any guardian kills on this side are getting me a lot more money, because I'm going to get more money from Death Augmenter, and I'm also going to get more money from the Coin Forge. So set up our Paladin and one Archer there to help with that side. Since there's no Coin Forge over here, get a little bit of money real quick, set up the Coin Forge, and then set up the Lightning. And you can see there again, the Lightning Storm is setting up, or it's killing some orcs a little bit too quickly. So we set up a swinging mace there to help clear out a bunch of orcs and take care of the kobolds. And you can see I'm starting to learn here. I just start using my lightning ring, start using these acid pots to really clear out one side of the orcs very quickly. That way I can rush over back to this side and make sure everything dies on the Coin Forge. So set up another swinging mace here, another thing of tar, paladin a little bit farther back, and I end up doing a swinging mace here on this side just in case something happens and doesn't get pulled away. But again, lightning to basically kill off the archers, headshots to kill off the gnoll, and then I come back here to help on my own side. You can see again, the barricades are going to be an issue basically throughout the entirety of this match. A few more archers to help kill those kobolds, and then just using these acid pods once again, and just lightning and acid, basically to clear out as many of these orcs as quickly as possible. So I don't have any issues. We still have issues with the barricades going down, and this is where I made my fatal flaw. I forgot that I deleted my paladin, and I ended up spending that money on arrow walls. And because I did that, the gnolls took down my archers, and since the gnolls took down my archers, the orcs were able to start getting them. So that was my fatal flaw right there, is not replacing, or forgetting to put down my paladin guardian once again. If the paladin was up, he could have tanked the gnolls while my archers shot them, and with the paladin there, it basically would have been safe. So that's the fatal flaw right there. But at this point in time, I've played this game, or I've played this level 5 times, while I've played this level 5 times on camera. I tested and played it probably another 3 times off camera. I was just fed up with this level. So at this point in time, I don't really care that many orcs have gone through. I'm just gonna get as many skulls, do as best as possible, as best I can. Now that I've got the strategy figured out, I'll probably go back at some point and play it again. But I was really salty. I was really salty after playing this level so many times. For whatever reason, I just couldn't figure it out. So here I am. It's getting to the point now where I've got it pretty well automated, and what I'm doing now is just putting air walls up on a little bit farther out to start thinning out the herd and weakening enemies on the side that I'm not actively engaged on. And then you can see here that basically now I'm able to set up an automated stuff on both sides. So at this point in time, the levels actually become the rounds actually become very easy. Take out one side, and my archers and my arrow walls and my swinging maces take out the other side, and I'm just rolling in the dough. It's those early levels that really get me. So here we are. This is my general strategy. So basically, load up on one side. Don't basically spend I would say spend little to no money guarding the side that you're going to be active on. And you just need to be active on that side. You need to be using the lightning storm. You need to be using good with headshots. You need to be using these acid pots to take enemies out. So you can see there, that's our first look at Cyclops mages. We do have some we've got some goblin, or some gnoll sappers or whatever they're called, and 64 headshots this level. That's just from the last round through, but that's me playing Double Trouble here on additional Pylons games. So thanks for tuning in.